You're watching Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to giving you the inside scoop on what's happening on the lakes and waterways of our region, with a primary focus on Sam Rayburn and Toledo Bend. Your host, V&M Baits General Manager Kevin Jean and Camus Boats Pro Staffer Steve Graff. Two guys with years of tournament experience with Pro-Am circuits like ABA, BFLs, Toyota Series, and BASS Opens. Anglers willing to share their knowledge and to give you inside information to make you a better angler. So get ready to take some notes and learn exactly how anglers are catching the big stringers right here on Tackle Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
Welcome to Tackle Talk Live. I'm Camus Boats, Boulware Pro Staffer Steve Graff, along with former president of V&M Baits, the one and only Kevin Jean. And Kevin, today, hey dude, we got a lot to cover today, and I know you got something going on. You got to get out of here pretty quick. But we're gonna cover a lot of stuff in a short time, so folks, bear with us because it's gonna be a quick one. We got the results from the Sealy Big Bass Splash at Lake Fork, and Kevin appears to have had a pretty good tournament over there. Some pretty good fish were weighed in.
Yeah, for this time of year, they caught them pretty good. I mean, there was a 7-pounder caught the first hour of the first day. I mean, overall, I didn't count, Steve. I think maybe 5 or 6 over, or 6 or 7 overs. But for this time of year, Lake Fork, it was a really good showing. I haven't talked to a lot of people that fished it. I don't know if there was a lot of fish caught, but there were several overs caught.
Yeah, there were. And we're going to get to those results as well. And Kevin, also right now, Sam Rayburn, as it goes for right now, the key words over Rayburn, be careful. Man, I tell you what, I went north of 147 last Friday.
Ooh.
I'm just not programmed. I'm not gutsy enough to just crank that puppy up and run across them stump field. I just can't do it. I literally idled out for probably at least quarter of a mile. I idled. And I kept running over stumps, even just idling. I'm like, okay, I can't do this. So I'm decided I'm going south. I'm getting away from the stump fields on that north end. I've got to do something different. But anyway, be careful if you're going to Rayburn, guys, because I'm telling you right now, you can. And they had a high school tournament there last weekend, Kevin, and they tore some stuff up.
Yeah, if you don't know where you're going, 100% know what's underneath you. It is idle and idle only over there. You better know where you're going.
Exactly. Also today, we're going to wrap up the Keith Combs Rayburn Slam annual event that Keith puts on every year. Does a great job with. I think it's a Cast for Kids program. And we got a member of the winning team of Clayton Boulware and Chris McCall. They came in with 20.85 pounds to win the tournament as a one-day deal. We'll have Chris on here in just a little bit. We also have breaking news on the new pro circuit coming in 2024, the ABA Professional Fishing League, sponsored by Camus Boats. We'll talk about that. And we've got an ABA two-day divisional championship on Sam Rayburn to wrap up this season for those guys in that Texas Southeast Division. And so we got that along with there's going to be another tournament going out of Jackson Hill, the Media Bass Championship. Not sure. I'm thinking around 40 boats is what they're looking at having. But, Kevin, it could get a little crowded on that north end around 147.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could. I mean, I would figure somewhere between 70, 75 boats between both tournaments. But the biggest thing is a lot of people don't want to run because of what you just said. Yeah. You can tear some stuff up. So I can definitely see it getting really crowded right there around the bridge.
Well, we got that and all this and so much more today on Tackle Talk Live. First, let's take a real quick break. We'll get Chris McCall on the phone, and when we return with more Tackle Talk Live.
Toledo Health is a full-service primary and acute care clinic. Nurse practitioners Jarrett Rule and Melissa Vines bring quality health care that's needed and convenient to the area. Whether it's a stomach virus or a hook in your hand, Toledo Healthcare will try and meet all your healthcare needs. Appointments available and walk-ins are always welcome. So the next time you're feeling down at Toledo Bend, stop by Toledo Healthcare, located on Highway 6, just south of Toledo Town, or you can call 318-508-5323. 5323. For all your boating needs, check out Shreveport's newest marine dealer, The Boat Shop. Raymond Kidd and his great staff will take care of all your engine repair needs or anything else that needs fixing. A certified Yamaha Mercury dealer, they carry two of the best fishing boats on the market from Sea Arc and Camus. The Boat Shop is never short on trade-ins as they're always willing and able to make you the best deal possible. Looking for great boat accessories? They're a full support Garment and Minn Kota dealer. So the next time you're in the market for a new or used boat, or maybe you just need to service the boat you have, let the Boat Shop fix you up. To learn more, call 318-402-0399 or go to ShreveportBoatShop.com. The next time you're on I-49 just south of Natchitoches, Louisiana, stop by Cypress Knee Outdoors. A store within a store, Cypress Knee is located inside 3J's four-way. Whether you need gas, food, or drinks, they have it. While you're there, check out Cypress Knee Outdoors and pick up whatever hunting or fishing tackle you need. Top name brands like Strike King, Santones, Pro, or the #1 soft plastics made, V&M. On the hunting side, they carry guns from Mossberg, Winchester, and Remington. Plus, they've got a great supply of ammunition. Let John Abram and his staff show you everything Cypress Knee has to offer. Located just 1 mile east of 127 on I-49 or call 318-238-HUNT. You're watching Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Now back to the guys with all the inside scoop, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
This is Tackle Talk Live. Thank you for tuning us in. This segment presented by Toledo Health, The Boat Shop of Shreveport, and 3J's Four-Way, home of Cypress Knee Outdoors. Your complete one-stop shop for everything hunting, fishing. They got it all, guys. If you need ammo, they've got it. John Abraham's got it. If you need V&M product, they got everything V&M makes under the sun. Everything a fisherman or a hunter could ever need. Deer stands to corn feeders, they got them all. Check it out. Cypress Knee Outdoors, right there inside 3J's Four-Way, exit 127 off I-49. And on the Tackle Talk Live hotline, we have Camus Boats Pro staffer Chris McCall. Chris, congratulations to you and Clayton Boulware as y'all came in with over 20 pounds to win this event, 20.85 to be exact. And Chris, congratulations, man. I know you told me on the phone, Dick, why couldn't we have done that a week earlier?
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Good talking to y'all again. Yeah, I wish we'd have done it about a week earlier in the Brandon Belt. It paid a little more money, but you know what? We'll take every one of them we get. They're getting harder to win, and you know, it was a very strange, weird tournament on Saturday, but we were able to get fortunate enough to catch a giant, and that's what really won the tournament for us.
Yeah, Chris, you guys had a little over 20 pounds and had a 9-pounder. Kind of take us through the day here, and did it start out? You know, did y'all really? Well, let's talk about this. Did you catch a lot of fish throughout the day, or did was it few and far bites in between?
Yeah, no, we really struggled. I didn't practice this week for this one because I was gone all last week for the belt, so I felt like I needed to stay at my business and be there all week. So Clayton went out on Friday, and he had some bites Friday, but I don't think he really felt like we were on anything major. Matter of fact, we spent almost the first hour on one of our really good deep spots and never got a bite, and we started running some more deep stuff and finally pulled on one spot and caught, a keeper and maybe a 2 3/4, and heck, it got to be like, I don't know, closer to 11 o'clock, and that was it. We had those two fish in the boat, and we finally decided we better go, fish the grass, and so we ran back down south. We went all the way up to the 103 bridge, and we ended up coming back down, and the first place we got to in the grass, we had that big one was the first one we caught. It was a little after 11, and I caught her on a big hollow-bellied swim bait, slow rolling it in the back of a drain. And the bad thing was she got the hook bad in her I guess she got it in her gill and ripped her gill, and she got in the boat and she was bleeding everywhere. So we decided that we would run to weigh in and weigh her in. So at the time we just had those 3 fish, and then we after that we ran down. We lost about an hour. Doing all that. So we got back at 12:30, went back to the same area we caught the big one, and Clayton caught a 5-pounder, like right as we got there. And I thought, man, we're really fixing to wear them out. And man, we missed a few, and at I think it was 2:37, I finally picked up a Sandtone swim jig, and I caught the 5th one, and it was another 14, 15-inch fish. And I caught one more on it right before we left. It didn't call, and that's it. We caught 6 keepers the whole day. It was a very slow day, and I had talked to several buddies of mine that said the fishing was really good during the week. Like one buddy of mine killed them scoping, then caught them on a top water the next day. I saw some videos from the guys that finished second. Looked like they caught some good fish all week, but I don't know if it was the pressure, high pressure. I don't know, but Saturday was not good.
Well, Chris, another thing too with the one thing I've heard, are they chasing shad or are they feeding on brim right now? Because I've heard 2 different reports from a couple of other guys that I know have been over there. One guy said he thought they were feeding on brim. The other guy said, no, I think they're on shad. But they're not up the creek yet, are they?
Well, from what I understand, they're on the shad pretty good, because I've had a lot of guys tell me that there are actually a lot of schoolfish right now, and that some of these schools have some really nice fish in them too. Not just your generic 2-pounders. They talk like there's some really nice fish in these schools, and that makes sense here. It happens every year when we have lack of grass, the lake starts to go down. There's always nice groups of schoolfish popping up. And most of those that I know of are open water fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've heard the same thing, Chris. I've heard there's been some really good fish being caught out of those schools, especially the week before the tournament. I talked to several guys that fished practicing for that event, just fishing on Sam Rayburn. They've caught some really good fish out of schools on top water as they're coming up, blowing up. See the fish, throw over there and catch them.
Yeah, and I had a buddy of mine tell me that at weigh-in too. He said that they saw some nice ones, up around the grass that they tried to catch on a spook. And Clayton and I, we never saw a bunch of that. I mean, that's normally a fall deal. You'll see them up there eating those gizzards or eating those big perch. And the area we were at, we didn't see a lot of it. I mean, like I said, we were fortunate we caught that big one, but we had, Clayton and I have done really good over the years fishing grass in the fall. I mean, at Rayburn now, it's probably my favorite time of year anymore is the fall. It just seems like I enjoy fall fishing at Rayburn. So we got so much history that, we just start running around, and the majority of the time we're going to run into them. It doesn't always work that way, but we will eventually run into some most days.
So what was your best technique, and what bait was your primary bait to catch, your 20 pounds?
Well, we caught 2 on a worm, a Mr. Twister 10-inch worm, caught 2 on a swim jig, 1 on a top water, and 1 on a hollowbelly swim bait. So
wow.
The hollowbelly did catch the big one. I'm not ever been a big hollowbelly swim bait guy, but I'm trying to learn it a little bit more, and I just threw it in the ditch at the right time, because she actually hit it once, and she came up, and I told Clayton, I said, that's a good one, and she really didn't get it, and then she hit it again, and she missed it again, and then finally the third time I just kept reeling. I was like, I'm gonna do like a swim jig and just keep reeling until she starts pulling, and I finally stuck her that third time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Chris, let's talk Sam Rayburn in general now. I mean, you've been through this enough with Sam Rayburn this time of year. The drawdown's still going to happen, but they're not far off 158 already. But they're thinking it's going to come back up pretty quickly. after they finish with all the repairs and stuff. But just give me your insight on Sam Rayburn and as far as going into 2024, how it's fishing right now, how the lake's looking, how the fish are looking. Just give me your insight going into 2024 tournament season.
Well, I think they look pretty good. I mean, all the fish we caught were healthy, and I get excited when it's like this right now. I think the rattle trap bite, comes early spring is going to be really, really good if it stays at this level.
Yeah.
And of course, the scope deal. It sounds like to me that there are so many giant schools of fish out over deep water that have really quality fish in them that the scope deal is going to be good, and a lot of those fish will still end up going and getting up shallow and going up the creeks and all that. It ought to be a really good topwater bite. I mean, I think Azara Spook this fall should be a lot of fun. It seems to be in good shape. You do got to be careful. There's stumps popping up or logs popping up in different places. I've had marked areas for years, and there's a new one, here, a new one there. But I think it's going to be a really good fall. I hope that it doesn't stay down real long, just because I think it protects the fish better when it comes back up. But
Yeah.
I have to admit, I do love throwing a rattle trap when it's low. When in the spring, it seems to group them up so much better. But still don't know if I can beat scopers doing it.
Yeah, and Chris, with all the backlash, we've heard over the years about the scoping, people that either don't own one or don't really understand it. They think it's just like going out there and playing a video game, and if you see them, you can just catch them. Well, it's not how it is. I mean, we all know sometimes you can't make them bite. I don't care what you're throwing at them. It's still a challenge to make those fish bite that you're scoping in there.
Oh yeah, 100%. And honestly, 100%. I don't like it because I'm not good at it. And if I was good at it, I would probably be 100% for it. But here's my whole issue with scoping. This is allowing fish that support every lake forever, that swim out there offshore. They come shallow to spawn. They don't get hassled with all year long, and now we're exploiting these fish that were nomadic fish. And unfortunately, when you have those kind of fish and you start weighing them in the summertime, those fish get killed, and we lose that class of fish. And
yeah,
to me, there are a lot of negative things as far as I don't know how I'm trying to say it, but as far as the lake goes, I think there are some negative things to scope. And that has
you're saying it could have long range ramifications, this scoping that's going on over the next 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I mean that's my only negative, and it might be my little narrow-minded opinion, but I just think that you're now allowing all these lakes to be opened up to fish that never got targeted, that maybe are the fish that kept all our lakes going all these years.
Yeah.
And maybe if I was Marshall Hughes, who's one of the very best at it, I'd love it. But until I get good with it, and I don't know if that's ever going to happen, I can't. I'm just not a big scope guy. And I do hate the way it has taken away from seasonal patterns. I mean, I'm getting to the point now, it's like, man, did all my shallow fish leave and go swim out there so they could get caught by scope? It's changing the complexion of fishing on a lot of lakes. But I'm not going to be mad about it to anybody that's beating me doing it, because they took their time, they learned it. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's not for everybody.
Right.
Chris, let's change gears real quick here, and I want to ask you, because you're a Lake Texoma guy, you're a Lake Texoma hammer. Bass Champs Championship coming up on Lake Texoma next month. Give me your breakdown that time of year on that lake, and what's your thoughts about it?
It ought to be a good tournament. You know, I grew up fishing there, and I used to be really, really good on that place. And over the years, it doesn't seem like I do as well up there because I guess I get further away from it, and there's a whole new generation of fish on Texoma. You know, when I fished there a lot, we had largemouth, you know, regular native largemouth, and they were a little easier to know what they were going to do. Every single year I knew what they were going to do. Well, now we got all those Floridas, and they do not act the same. They do not do seasonally what they're supposed to do. But anyway, it should be wide open. It's going to be, you know, at Texoma, if you can find some brush that people have put out, that's always a big deal. I mean, that's how we used to win a lot of tournaments up there, was putting brush piles out. You know, the topwater bite's going to be going. There's no doubt about that. That's one of the best ways to catch them up there. Shaky head, the smallmouth, that time of year, the smallmouth should play a lot.
That was going to be my question, is how much will the smallmouth play?
Yeah, and can you go out and have a mixed bag? Can you have a mixed bag and win a tournament up there with smallmouth and largemouth?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think the bigger question is can you win just with smallmouth? And
right.
I think you can. I mean, it fluctuates on Texoma. Some years the smallmouth bite's really off the hook, and then some years it's not as good. And I haven't been up there to really keep up with it this year, but I think the smallmouth, you know, God, if you could figure out how to catch 3 or 4 of those a day, you're going to be in good shape. They get big up there. Texoma's, as far as I know, the best smallmouth lake in the state. It's a good lake, and they'll catch them. You know, it should be a good tournament. I remember, I tell people this all the time. You know, when I grew up on Texoma, if you caught 15 pounds, you were going to win, and 12 pounds a day, you were probably going to win most of the time.
Yeah.
Now
it
takes, you know, yeah, I mean, 24 pounds for 2 days used to win almost every championship up there, and now you've got to catch them both days. Texoma's made a great comeback, and it's amazing as tilted in as it is how good it's fishing.
Yeah. All right, well, Chris, we appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming on with us today, and great information there, great detail. All you guys getting ready for Bass Champs, that's some good information out there Chris just handed out. So, Chris, again, congratulations on you and Clayton. That's a good win for y'all, and like you said, wins don't come easy anymore, do they?
No, they absolutely don't. We value every one of them now. It's just getting harder and harder, and these young guys are getting tougher and tougher. So it's good to win, and it's always. I know when I win, I got a chance to be on y'all's show, so I appreciate that. And Kevin, good luck. I don't know what your new adventure is, but good luck to you. I know I saw that you're doing something different now, and good luck with that.
I appreciate it, Chris. Thanks. I appreciate it. Don't know exactly what I'm doing yet. I'll be honest. I've got several things in the works, but I haven't made that transition yet, so we'll see. But I do appreciate it, Chris.
Absolutely. Y'all take care and call me anytime. All
right. Chris McCall, Canvas Boats Pro Staffer Chris McCall. We appreciate Chris coming on with us today. And Kevin, he gave good detail there, and actually, you know, some stuff that I may take from what he told about Ray. I may be able to take that and apply it myself over there not this weekend, but next weekend. And so I'm kind of looking forward to going back to Rayburn again. It's like I said, guys, I was over there last Friday. Just be careful. I said, I'm not a nervous guy, but I got nervous when you get north of, especially when you get north of the canyons. It's a roll of the dice, and so.
Well, and that's why I was saying, Steve, with both those tournament trails going out of there, man, I find it hard to believe many boats are going to go very far, especially north.
Yeah,
and even coming back down south can be tricky. You know, so I mean, I bet there's many boats not go very far.
No, I think you're probably right. So, all right, we're going to take another quick break. When we return, we got lake levels, we got Toledo Sam Rayburn reports, we got Sealy results, and we'll wrap up the Rayburn Slam. Besides Chris McCall, we'll give you the rest of the standings and how that turned out. This is Tackle Talk Live. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for the finest custom-built rods ever made? Then look no further than Pride Rods. Fishing rods built to last and made in Montgomery, Texas. Constructed by Mr. Billy Kistler with the finest Gary Loomis North Fork composite blanks available. They offer a complete line of both spinning and casting rods for both fresh and salt water. Pride Rods do more than pass the eye test. They excel in performance as well. Ask your local tackle dealer if they carry Pride Rods and pick one up and try it for yourself. You'll see why so many anglers are using Pride Rods. To learn more, go to priderods.com or call 832-418-6040. The next time you're headed for Toledo Bend or Sam Rayburn, stop by Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle. They have an awesome supply of everything you'll need to catch the big ones. Whether your trip calls for bass fishing, white perch tackle, catfish bait, or the ultimate fighting shiners, Keith's Tackle has you covered. Keith and former Elite Series pro Ben Matsubu also have the latest information on what, how, and where you need to be fishing on Sam Rayburn or the Bend. So for all your tackle needs, check out Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, located just off Highway 21 on the Texas side of Toledo Bend, or call 409-625-0181. The Lakes Insurance Agency is an independent insurance agency that has been taking care of Texans' insurance needs for over 25 years, offering auto, homeowners, boat, RV, life, health, and commercial insurance. Owner Clark Moore is a local guide and tournament angler who understands your insurance needs and wants to be your go-to guy for all your insurance needs. For a free quote, give him a call and see why so many Texans trust the Lake Insurance Agency. Located at 805 Southeast Stalling Suite 3, Nacogdoches, Texas, or call 936-205-4467. You're watching Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Now back to the guys with all the inside scoop, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
This is Tackle Talk Live. This segment presented by Pride Rods, Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, and the Lakes Insurance of Nacogdoches, Texas. 2 locations, one in Nacogdoches and one right there at Sam Rayburn in Broadus, Texas. So check it out. Need boat insurance, truck insurance? Hey, check them out. They've got everything. They can take care of all your insurance needs right there at either one of those 2 locations. All right, Kevin, you've got the final results right there in front of you of the Keith Combs Rayburn Slam. Again, just always a good event by Keith.
Yeah. First place, Clayton Boulware, Chris McCall, 20.85. Second place, some Louisiana guys, Robert Moore, Jerry Cootie, 18.54. Third place, Chris Ryder and Cullen Newman, 17.73. Fourth place, Brett Clark, Zach Clark had 16.07. And fifth place was Sean Mercer and Colt Mercer for 14.80.
Yeah, congratulations to all those guys. It was, like I said, it's always a really good event that they put on over there. And real quick, I've got Bob Seeley right here in front of me. Right, first place, Mark Talley of Quitman, Texas. He took home a $100,000 grand prize package with a 9.33, and second place was Michael Pruitt from Tuscola, Texas. He had an 8.43 for $15,000 cash. Keith Pace from Monticello, Arkansas was third with 8.15 for 10 grand. Fourth place was Ryan Arnold from Gadsden, Alabama. He had an 8.15. So they tied for third and fourth, and both one got 10,000, one got 5. Kevin, I'm not sure what's the tiebreaker there. Do you know?
I want to say it's the first one to weigh in.
That's what I think too. I think whoever weighs the 8.15 first. So anyway, fifth place was Andre Martin from Manny, Louisiana. He had a 7.76. Congratulations, Andre. He had $2,500 cash that he took home. And like I said, overall, just a lot of really good fish caught. A lot of anywhere from 2 to 3 pounders were caught. A lot of 2.5s, 2.7s. Of course, you got the slot there you got to contend with. So you kind of make a choice over there. If you get the big bite over the slot, that's great. You just kind of get lucky. But a lot of guys go over there, Kevin, fishing for below the slot fish, just trying to get a check.
Oh, no, absolutely. There's a lot of guys over there with, 3 or 4 drop shots on the front deck.
Yes, exactly.
Just trying to get that big under, and there was a lot of really good 2-pounders caught. And a lot of those win a lot of hours, over there.
Yep.
No, they absolutely do. They're going fishing for unders, and if you catch a big one, that's just a bonus.
And Sealy's got one more event left, Kev. I believe it's the middle of October. It's a 2-day deal on Sam Rayburn. Fall shootout, I think is what he calls it. So we'll give you more detail on that next week. One day we may even try to have Bob on and give a little more detail about that. But anyway, now the big breaking news from ABA. A lot of guys, this has been teased by ABA for the last week that they got a major announcement coming, and they finally released it yesterday. It's called the ABA Professional League. It's a solo fishing tournament where anglers are in the boat by themselves. Co-anglers will not be in these events. It's a $325 single-day entry fee with a chance to win up to possibly $10,000. For a single-day event, it's probably the largest single payout of any circuit at 80% payback. And again, Kevin, we've kind of been looking for ABA to do something different. And I hope this is a home run. I think they've really done a good job of maybe nailing this. I know you have a little concern that hopefully it's not going to compete with the solo 150 tour, which is similar. It's double the entry fee, and solo is a 2-day event.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. This is a completely different tournament format. When I saw this, and I text you, my first question was, please tell me they're not doing away with the solo 150s. And I had several people text and ask me that same question because the solo 150, I think, is different, more different than anything else out there. And this one is as well, but that solo 150, Steve, I think has a really good chance to be a really, really big deal. And I was just wanting to make sure this is good. This has got a lot of good things in it. I'm a little concerned about some of the scheduling, but I know it's hard to get the schedules right this day and age, getting boat ramps and stuff. Let me ask you this, Steve, for the chance to win up to 10 grand, what's a full field for that to be?
Well, they're still trying to determine that. That hasn't been determined yet. I actually asked Chris that same question this morning, and Chris McCall will be the tournament director for this. They have not determined exactly what a full field is going to be yet. But again, his main thing is it's 80% payback. He said, I don't care how many boats show up. No other circuit's doing that right now. And he's right. Most of them are around 70%.
There's nobody else doing that. And now let me ask you this. This is doing away with the regular Open Series, though, correct?
The Open Series, this is taking the place of the Open Series where you had co-anglers. And I know some co-anglers are going to be upset about this because I know the only thing you've got left now is really the BFLs for co-anglers. That's about the extent of what you've got left when it comes to
at that level, yes.
Yeah, at that level, that's the only thing you have left. So, and the problem, and I will defend ABA on this because I understand that if I was a tournament director, this would be your worst nightmare. Not having enough co-anglers to always fill out your field, that was an issue. And then if you got too many co-anglers and not enough boaters or pros, that's really a major issue because now you're sending people home. It just got to be, and I think the co-angler sides, I don't know if it's, Kevin, is there just more things guys are fishing now than back in the 90s and early 2000s? You didn't have all these other circuits going on. So now guys have got choices, and a lot of guys have decided to go more of a team route, hadn't they?
They have. And let's just be honest, the co-angler days is hard. I mean, co-angler fishing nowadays is very, very hard.
Yes.
Back in the 90s and early 2000s, there wasn't a whole lot of really, let's just say, deep fishing going on.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no forward-facing sonar. So nowadays, it's, there's not a whole lot of let's go down the bank fishing and here's my best spots. It's really hard to fish as a co-angler nowadays and have good places to fish. If a guy's fishing out deep, especially on Sam Rayburn, if a guy's fishing a brush pile, he's normally facing at the brush pile. Well, the co-angler doesn't have anywhere to fish now, and if now the forward-facing sonar stuff, they're in the middle of the lake. Co-angler's just throwing. A lot of guys still do it, but it's not what it used to be.
This year, for the first time, I had co-anglers get in my boat and actually ask me, "Are you forward facing sonar? Are you looking at the fish?" I was like, "No, I'm not doing that." And they were so relieved because some of these guys are drawing those guys out, and it's almost the same as sight fishing. It can be a nightmare for a co-angler if you draw a guy sight fishing, even if you're shallow. But at least when you're shallow, you can pick up a Cinco or drag a worm. You can do something up shallow. But when you're out deep, you're right. You're hung out to dry. I would not want to be a co-angler paying my hard-earned money to go fish in the back of the boat when a guy's sight fishing or forward-facing sonar. I wouldn't want to be in a boat with that guy. So I have compassion for those co-anglers because I've been a co-angler before and I know what that's like. Right. And but here's the tournament trail. The Texas side, the Texas trail is going to be, and the Texas trail, I'm telling you right now, is a home run. Lake of the Pines, March the 2nd. Sam Rayburn, April 13th. And May 18th is Lake Palestine. And then the 2-day championship, September 14th and 15th, will be on Sam Rayburn out of Castle Boykin. And so congratulations to Chris. Good job on that schedule. The Louisiana schedule, which is brand new, never had a Louisiana division. This is new. So all you guys in North Louisiana, Central Louisiana, if you're looking for something to fish, this could be a really good tournament trail. Louisiana, February 10th, Caddo Lake out of Earl G. Williams. That's a great time to go to Caddo. March the 23rd, Lake Bistineau State Park will be the second event, and the fourth event will be 420 out of Toledo Bend, out of Cypress Bend Park. There'll probably be a lot of guys shotgun that tournament, and then the championship, the 2-day championship, is, let's see here, June 22nd, 23rd out of Caddo on Caddo Lake. The one thing that's so good about this schedule, Kevin, some of those East Texas guys, a lot of them fish Caddo, a lot of them fish Toledo Bend. They're going to hop over and fish both of them. I know I'm planning on fishing probably some of the Louisiana and all the Texas, so I'm going to hop over on both of them myself. But I just think that, and again, Louisiana division, that's a new deal. Chris is experimenting. He's hoping that there'll be a good turnout for this.
Yeah, I don't know. See, I hope he does. For that region to have a good showing at every event, he's got to have those Shreveport and North Louisiana guys on board. Yep. They have to get on board, and that is a very hard market to get into. That's my only concern there. That is a hard market. So again, for that region to work, them guys have to buy in, and you have to win those guys over. You'll get a lot of jackpotters hit that Toledo Bend one, but the problem is your Toledo Bend guys are not going up north. The northern guys don't come to Toledo Bend as much, but they come more. Toledo Bend, I was born and raised on Toledo Bend. I've been to Caddo Lake once in my life. Actually a couple more times than that, but actually going fishing, I was filming a lot of stuff, but actual fishing once. But yeah, I mean, I hope he does well with it. There's a lot of things about this I like. But I'll be honest with you, I'm ready to see the solo 150 schedule. Yeah,
we'll hopefully have that next week.
Yeah.
All right, real quick, Bass Championship preview against on Lake Texoma, October 14th and 15th. Official practice days, October 11th, 12th, and 13th. Off limits, September 25th to October the 10th. The off-limit areas, I have those for you today. Catfish Bay Marina, which is where the tournament's going out of. From that point of that seawall all the way across that pocket, I've been there before. That's all off limits inside that marina. Hagerman National Wildlife Refuge and the Tishomingo National Wildlife Refuge. All three of those areas are off limits. All bridges on Texoma are idle only. Don't forget that. Kevin, lake levels, Rayburn 159.53. It's a difference of 4.87 feet low right now. 10-day loss has been 2.88 inches, and the 24-hour loss has been 0.48 inches. Toledo Bend, 168.19. It's down 3.81 feet. 10-day loss has been 4.32 inches, and the 24-hour loss has been 0.72. And hey, again, guys, either one of these bodies of water, just be careful. You know, it's just that time of year. All the lakes in our region are drawing them down. It's normal practice. Some of it's for salvinia reasons. Some of it's for repairs, whatever it may be. And just be careful in the fall. Kevin, your thoughts on how Rayburn right now, Toledo Bend, how they're going to fish this fall?
Rayburn's can be, it's a little iffy right now, Steve. Not a whole lot of size being caught, but I did hear the past week and a half has gotten a lot better. So it's looking good. Toledo Bend is fishing really good right now, what I'm hearing. I'm headed up the end of this week, maybe Friday, Saturday to fish there. I've got a little championship to fish there next month, beginning of next month, a little club championship. So I'm going to practice a little bit this weekend. I can have a better report on it next week, but I'm hearing really good reports coming from Toledo Bend. Yeah.
And well, good deal. And again, as Kevin's already asked about the Solo 150 Tour ABA, hopefully we'll have that next week, and we'll give you some more details. And if you want to see the details on the ABA, the rules, the tournament, the trail rules and everything, the off limits, how they're going to handle that, how do you advance to the Ray Scott National Championship, that is based off the top 200 point holders nationally. Those will be the guys. And you earn points at every tournament. Even though you're fishing a division, you can hop over and fish other divisions and continue to gain more points to make sure you stay in that top 200 and get invited to the Ray Scott National Championship. So looking forward to seeing how all that works out as well. But Kevin, that's all I got. You got anything else?
No, that does it for today.
All right. We appreciate everybody tuning us in. And again, if you would like to become a sponsor of this program, send us a message on our Facebook page. Kevin will make sure he gets a packet out to you. You can check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, however way you listen to podcasts. But we'd love to have you tune us in and spread the word for us. Spread the word. We're trying to get our numbers up, trying to get our likes up and the followers. But we need your help doing that. So for Kevin Jean, yours truly, Steve Graff. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week with more Tackle Talk Live.